Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we're up today with KSCRAFT. Yes, after my little digression yesterday, here we are and we are going to do this. This is the gingerbread jelly tote gift bag, and it is a gorgeous size, and when I finish making it we will measure it. I'll put it that way around because you can see the face is already there just to layer your pieces onto. Really simple, and I'm using one of the Christmas words, and I'm using the word cookies. Right, so I've been a little bit organised and I've done some die cutting, and I can tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need, if you've got this die, two of the bag faces, which are going to be front and back. You're going to need two sides, which will go like that, and that was my beau shaking himself, bless him. And then you're going to need a base and a base layer, which will make it a little bit sturdier for you, and then that will go onto there. If you want to do that in a different colour cardstock, then you can absolutely do that. So those are your main pieces for your bag, and then you'll notice that you've got a face that's going to be on either side. So you're going to need two of your swirly twirly frostings, which are these. You're going to need 4 eyes, and I've done mine a little bit different. I've used the die to cut out the eyes. You're going to need 4 so that you can do front and back, and I cut my eyes out in black, and then I used one of my small circle dies and I cut 4 circles in cream. This is actually cream basil cardstock. I hope that you can see that. And my idea is that I'm going to layer the cream onto there so that I've still got black eyelashes, but then I'm going to use one of my 4mm flatbacks, which are these, as the pupils. So if I just cap the lid off that, for anybody that's new to the channel, they're just slight gloss and flat back black pearls. That's what they are, and I'm going to use those as the pupils. Right, the word that I'm using is the word cookies, so I've already put that together, and I've done 4 cheeks, because remembering it's 2 sides of the bag, 2 faces. So I've cut those in pink basil cardstock again, and we've got 2 little mouths, and I've cut those in red basil cardstock, which are those, and they kind of like tie in with the colour in the cookies. Right, I'm just going to pause a second while I move a lot of this, and we're going to do one side of a bag with a face, and then I'll pause and go off and do the other. Right, so I tied it up a bit, and here we go. First thing we're going to put down is the frosting. Now if you look at this bit of the basket, you can see that it's wavy, and it will match up to your frosting, and it will go down as easy as that. So first of all, we need a little bit of glue, and I've just noticed I've got some craft cardstock stuck on there from my cutting plate. So just a little bit of glue onto there, flip it over. You want to line it up with your grooves. That's it. And then we're just going to pop it down. Lift it up towards you, make sure that you're straight. And I'm just going to move that up just a little bit with my finger. Right, so there is our first frosting, and now we're going in with the eyes, and there are 2 of those. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue onto the eyelash area on both. And I do have my pickup tool if I need it, but I think I'm going to be okay because these are nice big pieces. Now just line your eyelashes up. I haven't pressed down yet. I've got a little bit of glue stuck on this one. And then I'm just going to slide until I get my eyelashes lined up. I need to go over there just a little bit, wiggle that. Right, my eyelashes are lined up on that one. I'm not so sure about this one, so there we go. Just peel that off and stick it down. If you get any like fluffy bits, you can just pick them out. I've got a pair of tweezers here, and I just want to grab that bit. It probably won't let me actually. Ooh, I might sort it out after. I can be funny about bits. And then I need to get my dried glue off. So there we've got two eyes and we've got the frosting on. And this is what I'm doing different. I'm putting another eyeball on here. So I'm just going within the stitched area. And then I'm going to line that up. You don't have to do this, it's just something that I wanted to do extra so that she's got eyelashes and she's got eyeballs. Now if you wanted to cut another smaller circle so that she's got colourful eyes, then you can absolutely do that. Right, the next thing that I want to do is pop on my flat backs. So I'm going to grab two of those. I'm going to attempt to flip that one over. There we go. And then decide how you want your eyes, because within the die, if you look at, I'll flip her over, you can see that your eyes pupils are kind of laid out for you. Now I want mine looking up, so I'm going to go kind of there. I'm going to put one down on there and one there. Whoops. I'm just going to have a look at that, make sure that they're straight. One needs to go up just a little bit. So my little gingerbread girl is looking upwards. And now we've got the cheeky pieces. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along there. Use my pickup tool. So now we've got the cheeks on. You can give them a wiggle before your glue sets. And then next is the little mouth. Oops. It's right, this one's broken, so I can quite literally push it from one end to the other. But they last for years anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now we've got the little mouth on there. So that's all that's different with mine, is that I've decided to cut a different colour pupil. But if you've got an even smaller circle die, you could cut a circle in blue if you wanted to, or even pink. Yeah, nothing wrong with a gingerbread having pink eyes. So now that you've seen me do that one, I'm now going to go and do the other one, and I will be right back. Okay, so now we've got two little gingerbread faces, and the eyes are still wet on this one, but they're dry on this one. So I'm just going to move that one out of the way to finish drying. And then in the middle of this is where I want to put my cookie word. So I actually want to put my cookies right there, and I'm going to pop that up on foam. So I'm just going to cut a couple of these down. And grab it because it's scooted off camera, and then I want to pop some on here, so I've got to trim a little bit off the edge there because I don't really want that sticking through, and I don't know if it's going to fit there. Ah, it does. So I'll have that bit on there, and then I'm just going to line these bits up. Should have cut it all the way through, but usually I'll just tear them. And these are Dollar Tree foam pads that I'm using. So I'm just going to go there like that. Peel that off. Hope you're all going to have a wonderful day today. Our weather's been really nice. It's cooled down. And just been enjoying the garden. So I'm going to try there. Yeah. I'm going to go there with my cookies. Just make sure you're not stuck behind. So I've got my cookies word there. I've got my frosting. She's got a little face. And now we need to actually put the bag together. So we need to do the sides and the base, and they are going to glue together. So I'm just moving these out of the way now. And you have to forgive my hoarse throat. Right, this one will stick onto here. But first of all, you can see you've got a bunch of score lines, and it's usually a good idea to get those going before you do any gluing. So I'm just first of all going around with my fingers, because this is a heavyweight craft cardstock. And I just push it down, one finger onto another like that. So I'm just holding it behind so that it doesn't collapse in places that it shouldn't. There we go. And I've got my bone folder here. So now that I've found where it is, I just go up and then I can bend it over. And then you can open it out again. As long as you found your score marks, really, that's all that you need to do. Right. So our little fancy piece is going to go to there. Now, I'm working sort of like inside out. So this piece is going to glue over to here. And then this piece is going to glue over to here. So I'm just going to glue my fancy one in the middle. And I think one of the things I'm going to attempt to do this weekend is mount my camera on the wall. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, because it means I'll have to move a lot of my crafting stuff out of the way in order to do it. But I know a few people have complained that my camera is very wobbly, and the last thing I want to do is make people seasick. So I'm going to attempt to do something about that this weekend. Only my camera is actually mounted onto, you know, those old-fashioned cantilever table lamps that go up and down and around and around. I actually took the lampshade off and mounted my camera onto it. So yeah. I'll let you imagine what that looks like. It looks a bit steampunky. Right, so that's stuck onto there, and then you're going to need to place these onto here. Now, you want your visuals to be nice, so I would glue from the nice side so that you can see it butted up to that score line. And that you're nice and even. So I'm just going to get some glue down onto here. And we still do have some humidity, so I'm going to vanish while it dries. And then we need to do this side as well. Just got my glue there. Just line them up just before the bend. There we go. and give it a rub. Right, I'm going to let that dry properly before I start curling it. Right, so I think that's going to be okay, and we'd already found the crease lines on here, but you've also got the same on these here, so you can just go along with your fingers and just give them a gentle crease. You don't need to bend them in too much because you want them to have enough flexibility to sort of like twang back on the basket itself and hang on when you put the glue on. So I'm just going along, just very gently doing it. You don't need to use your score tool or your bone folder. Just go along. There we go. Make sure I found that one. So it's as easy as that. Now the basket is curved, and as you can see when we put these sideways, these are straight. Now you can, if you want to, manipulate from a straight position. I personally don't like to do that, and I like to grab a pencil, I've got a red one here, or anything round, and just gently hold your base where you've glued it and run your finger with your pencil and turn it around and do the same. And what you end up now is a curve rather than a straight. So I'm just going to do that again. You only need to do it gently, and it'll just help you find your shape when you're gluing down those tabs. So if you see that now, we're nice and curved, just like curling a ribbon. And then you can pop these down again, just stick them in to help you. Just like that. I'll do this side. But it's just an easier shape to work with. Now we've got our little basket and we know where this goes, so I'm flipping that over. It could be actually that I need to put something across the back of that. I might actually cut another base, you know, for that word and put it on the inside there. But now you can see that we've got that lovely shape, and it's going to be a lot easier to glue it into position. So I'm going to start with the straight bit first, because that's going to hold everything in position while you do the rest of it. So along your straight edge, pop some glue. Now I may need to pause while I hold it, because as I said, I've got humidity here. But you just want to line that up with the bottom of your basket, and I hope you can see this on camera. And pop it right down at the edge. Right, I'm going to hold that there and I'll be right back. Right, so that one is dry, and the next thing to do is to pop your other side on. So I'm just going to prop that up a little bit there, and you can see that I've got a little bit there that I didn't punch out, so I've got that out of the way. And we're now going to stick the other side. So just popping some glue onto there. And I'm looking on top here because I want it to be even. So I'm just pushing that tab down. I'll push that one down out of the way. Right, I'm just going to hold that and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now you've got your base square, which is essentially holding your two sides and your two basket faces. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to bring it up and you want to be able to stick down these two sides. And believe me or not, you can do it. You just need to use both of your hands to hold it there. You can go one at a time if you want to. And in fact, maybe I should do that just to behave myself. But I'm just putting a little bit of glue onto each of those little tabs. And I will be good. And I'll just do one side at a time. So now you've already bent them. So you just need to find the edge of your basket, and I really do hope that you can see. And you need to push your tabs down. Now it could be that you prefer to do maybe just one or two tabs at a time. It's entirely up to you. And I know I just bashed my camera, I felt it. Right, I'm just holding this area at the edge here with my fingers. Okay, so this side is glued on and now we need to do it to this side. So I'm just going to flip over and move it into camera so that you can see. And I'm just pushing those tabs down a little bit more, trying not to hit my camera. And we're just going to put a little dab of glue onto each of those tabs again. I'm just trying to find the cap on my glue bottle. Right, and now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do exactly as I did on the other side. And I'm just going to squash it down and find my edge. Right, I've got that. I'm just going to hold it and I'll be right back. Right, so this side is now glued, as you can see there. That's how it should look on the inside. And now we need to do this side. So exactly the same thing again. I'll get it into camera there. And just a little bit of glue on each of those tabs. And I am using art glitter glue here. And I've got one little tab there that's hiding. And I need to do this one. Just shape your basket, press and hold it with your hand. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we've got three sides glued and it's just this one left to do. So we're just going to flip that over. Make sure all of your tabs are on the inside. I'm just going to push that into there. Give them a little squeeze down if they're in your way. And we're going to put some glue onto those again. Same exact thing, just dripping glue. As soon as I unblock the end, onto each of those tabs. Oop, just had a little accident there. And then we're going to maneuver it into position and just press, and I'll be right back. Right, so the little tote now is all put together and all glued inside, and that's what yours should look like when you make it. All those pieces like that. If you find it difficult to hold a number of those pieces in position, just do a couple of those little tabs at a time and work your way around. But that is the finished little jelly tote basket. Isn't that sweet? It really is. Now you can pull it together with a little ribbon and your little sides will bulge for you to hang your candy canes and stuff out of there. but I just think it's really sweet. If you're someone who loves to do the Christmas craft fairs and you sell stuff, I mean, 3 of these, you know, popped up on little cupcake stands or something, just in your display with your cookies all around, is really going to be eye-catching. So I'm going to go for my widest point here, and I'm going to say it's a fraction under 5 3/4 inches, and then the height of that up to its handle is 5 5/8, and then the depth of the basket, let's get right across there, is, oh, I'm going to say a fraction under 2.5 inches. So you can see it's an absolutely awesome size. I'm sorry it just doesn't, you know, all fit into my camera. But if you're putting your cookies up on foam pads, then cut another base and just stick it behind here, and then that's going to hide your foam pads. But I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. It's so cute. You could even put a tea light in there. Really sweet. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. As usual, all links are below, and I'll be up with more from KSCRAFT tomorrow. Bye.